In the upper Midwest, shallow groundwater is polluted with nitrate or man-made chemicals in many places. Yet deeper groundwater often contains radium at levels that exceed the MCL established by the radionuclides rule, 5 picocuries per liter. A number of small systems have chosen to exploit the deeper aquifers and treat the source water to remove radium. This case study highlights 2 small systems in Minnesota that remove radium from groundwater with co-precipitation. Green Isle, Minnesota is a town of 500, 30 miles southwest of the Minneapolis-St. Paul metropolitan area in the Minnesota River Valley. It hosts small businesses, an elementary school, and a regional high school. Many residents commute to work in the Twin Cities.
The source of water here comes from Mount Simon, which our wells are about 827 feet deep. Very good clean water. Have to treat it just very little to be in the percentages that we need to be at. Summer rates run about 1,200,000 gallons a month. Our winters run about 850,000 gallons a month.
In 2001, the town of Green Isle installed a complete new water system. New regulations, including the radionuclides rule, plus iron problems with the well and a decaying wooden water tower, led the town to construct a new well, treatment plant, and water tower. The process of lining up funding, designing, and pilot testing the new facility took Green Isle nearly 6 years. Green Isle uses one of its 2 wells at a time. Well water is dosed with a slurry of solid hydrous manganese oxide, a proprietary product. This causes the dissolved iron, manganese, and radium to come out of solution. The water then passes on to the filters. These are multimedia granular filters with 3 types of layered sand that operate at pressures of 65 to 80 psi. The filtered water is then dosed with gaseous chlorine, then with fluoride, then is pumped to the water tower for distribution. The pressure filters are backwashed once a week with compressed air and water.
It takes me 3 hours just to go around. First I do my readings and stuff, take all my samples for my effluent and influent, and do my test for the iron and manganese, and then do my fluoride test, and then I'll make sure I write down all my numbers so I got them, and then I'll hit the backwash and let it go through the backwash and just stay there. But I can't be in the building because of the radium, because of the health problems that can cause. So I stand outside, and then as it's going through its cycle and it's draining the tanks, getting rid of everything, we got the radium in the water, which we end up goes into the sanitary sewer, and then from there it gets over to the wastewater plant, which they have the treatment there. Every day, it's a 7-day-a-week job to go out and read the chemicals, read what gallons have went through the plant. At the end of the month, I take that sheet and put onto a Department of Health sheet, and I have to send to them, and I got so many days to get that to them, so I can stay in compliance with them. And then also the Department of Health sends me out each year on the tests that got to be sent off, like nitrates, fluoride sample, bacterial samples, the radium sample, and all that. And it gives me the month, the date, and when I got to send it all off to them. And they actually send me out the containers, and then I just got to fill out the paperwork and send it off to them. HMO to run. They had to do some testing trying to figure out how to get that to work, and so they had some issues with that part of it. The fluoride and the chlorine they didn't have a problem with, that worked very well, but it was just the HMO that the Tonka absorbed that they couldn't, took them a little time to get figured out, which I think took them about 2 years to get it figured out.
And basically any changes that are made to the utility billing are done by the council. They do all the changes, so.
Green Isle bills water customers per gallon of water used indoors. Some homes have separate lawn meters which are billed differently, since that water creates no demand on the sewer system. There is also a debt service line item on every bill to pay off the town's water and sewer bonds.
Rural water is another one that's good to work with. I go to their schools, they give us all our training and stuff, and they're very helpful people too. They can put you to the right people to talk to and get things going and get set up so you can get on track. Since I've started here, it's been running very well.
New Richland is a farming community of about 1,200 people located in south central Minnesota. The water utility has 532 customer connections.
The water system is an enterprise utility of the city of New Richland, and it's governed then by the city council. So water rates are set based on the budget and water usage and measured by gallon, and rates are set by resolution of the city council.
New Richland has 3 wells that draw from the St. Peter limestone aquifer. We pump in the summer around 100,000 gallons a day. In the winter drops down to about 80,000 gallons a day.
In the treatment plant, water from one of the 3 production wells is dosed with 2 chemical slurries. First, manganese sulfate, then potassium permanganate. The chemical reactions create a solid precipitate that captures the iron from the water, as well as the radium that gives rise to alpha particles. When the water is then run by gravity through the large sand filters, all these constituents are filtered out. The water is next chlorinated, then fluoridated, then pumped to the elevated storage tank.
Every other day we backwash, or basically flush out that media with a combination of air and water. Outside into a holding tank we have underground where there's a little detention time, and any solids are technically supposed to settle to the bottom, and then after that point it's pumped above ground down into our sanitary sewer, where it's then sent out to the treatment plant and the water's treated. I know our area Department of Health representative for our area. I know him pretty well, and he stops in, he makes an annual visit, but keep in contact with them, and if you think you can lower doses, or to try and not only save money, but basically to save money, so you're not you don't have to add so much. I would say keep in contact with them, because they're the ones that are mandating it, and if you want to make any changes, you have to go through them.